to today's 7 on Sunday. Okay, we're into March now. Last March, we were like only just starting to get into all the COVID stuff, and now it's been a year. That change is just too abrupt. Like, how has it been a year since everything has kind of gone down? And even though it seems like stuff could be looking up, we're still gonna have like a lot of years of stuff not being the same as it used to be. But we've got 4 new topics for 7 on Sunday, and I'm very excited to get into it. So today's topic is favourite female authors, and I feel like I've talked about this before though, because we did authors we'd want to quarantine with, but also our most read authors. All these authors are going to be familiar to you. I've only had like 2 new favourite authors like more recently, so like most of this list you're already going to heard from me before, so I might just like bam them out because like there's not too much to say. I just love reading the books and the worlds that they've created. I think, did we do an auto by author list as well? I think we might have. So there's a lot of similarity here for me because like I'm very basic with the authors that I like. But if you didn't know, 7 on Sunday is a group created by Grace over at G-Swizzel, and I'll link her down below as well as the Goodreads page because it is a great tool for all the information that you need. She's a great booktuber, and if you aren't subscribed to her, I don't know what you're doing, so definitely check that link down below if you haven't. But she's created this video prompting idea for us to do, and it pretty much started like last May. Like I think we're coming up to the year anniversary of 7 on Sunday too, which is like crazy as well, because this is something that's really helped I think during the COVID times, because I know I've always had this video to do, and it's always something to look forward to, like to see what the new topics are and to see everyone's videos. Like it's just a really fun thing that she's created, and if you want to join in, I again highly recommend. But let's get into today's video. So number 1 is Sarah J Maas. Like, why would I not love her? I think in general she is a great person, and also the only person I've seen live, so like I feel like I have more of a connection to her. And she's also live on Instagram right now, and I was watching it for a little bit, and she was talking about House of Earth and Blood, and I'm like, but I just don't know why I find it so hard to watch lives unless it's like the Julie and the Phantoms cast. But other than that, I'm just like, I cannot deal with a live right now. But she is really cool. I love the way that she is so invested in what she writes, and also the ACOTAR series and the Throne of Glass series and House of Earth and Blood are some of my favorite worlds and stories and characters. So like she has given me so much through her writing, and everything that she writes I will definitely be picking it up. The next one is an obvious favorite, but come on, Cassandra Clare. Like she has literally been part of my reading journey for over 10 years now, and I still have such fond memories of when I first found City of Glass, and I had to save up money by like doing the dishes and doing the washing and doing all those fun things just so I could go out and buy her book and read them. And I remember just being so excited to get to every single one of them, and just like that level of joy is so important to me as a reader. And now that I'm older and matured, her stories have matured with me, because there is still more books coming out. Like Chain of Iron just came out like today or yesterday, and it's just like, yeah, she's always going to grow with me. I love the world that she's created, and she's just done such an important thing to the reading community and the reading world that she is just, yeah, always going to stay on that favorite list. A new one for me would be Alice Oseman, because she has taken my heart completely with the Heartstopper comics, and I literally have bought all of her books. They're all down there, and I've read the 2 novellas, Nick and Charlie and This Winter, but I've got Solitaire, Radio Silence, I Was Born for This, and Loveless that I need to eventually go through. But her comic has just changed me. Like I love Charlie and Nick, and they're such beautiful characters, and I love that she does all the illustrations herself, and she does so much with social media, and Heartstopper is going to become a TV show on Netflix. Like there is so much around her that brings me so much joy, and I definitely just can't wait to see what else she writes. But I definitely need to pick up one of her novels, because graphic novels to novel writing can be quite different, and I really need to like get invested in actually reading her stories, because I thought I would try and do it this year, but as I've been very slumpy, I don't even know what I'm gonna actually get to this year. But I just know that she has just given me like so much joy, and I love her as an author. Next, I want to talk about Trisha Levenseller, which is another author that's like newer to me, because like I only read Daughter of the Pirate King in the last couple of years, and I've pretty much read everything that she's ever written now, because I've read the sequel, then I read The Shadows Between Us, then I read Warrior of the Wild, and I've just pre-ordered her new book Blade of Secrets, which doesn't come out until May, and I don't even know really what it's about, but I'm excited for it, and that's the point. She writes such captivating stories, and I've really appreciated her writing. And I also love following her on Instagram, because I love seeing her when she posts about the library that she created and just like her author section, and she's literally got like battle axes and knives, and just like she got some cool shit going on. She just seems like a really cool person. Like I would love to meet her. I don't know how it would happen though, because like I live in Australia, so like author events aren't really that big in Australia. Like they happen, but like say going to America and going to BookCon, like there are so many authors there I could meet and I would just be so excited because it's just like you've been such a big part of my life and then I could meet you. But definitely she's a new favorite and I just can't wait to see what else she writes, and I'm so glad I'm caught up so that I can just keep reading everything that's new, and it's just so much fun. Okay, an older author for me is Claudia Gray. That is still one of my favorites because she has written so many books. She did 1,000 Pieces of You, she did Evermore, she did The Spellcaster, she did Defy the Stars, but I haven't read anything new from her. But I don't actually know if she has written any new stuff recently. Like I haven't been following her as much, but she's a favorite author to me because I read so many of her books when I was a teenager and I loved her books so much and I got so invested. And reading some of them now, I can see that like a lot of what she writes is directed towards more teenagers, and obviously all these authors write books that are for teenagers mostly, but having it that the author grows as you grow into an adult is just such a really interesting experience, and I really enjoy that. So with Claudia Gray, I feel like her books have kind of stilted a little bit, but I still have such fond memories of reading her books and enjoying them so much, and she is again always going to be a favorite. Next, I want to talk about Laini Taylor, and I feel like, you know, a couple of years ago I wouldn't have put her on this list, but like as I think about it, she is just such a great author, and I feel like when I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone, that book literally changed me. And yes, I've only read 5 books that she's published, so she's not like that much of a read author by me, but just the writing style of Daughter of Smoke and Bone I think really changed me, and it was something that I started to look for in books, like having this really sophisticated writing that was just done so well. And I feel like that was a stepping stone for me not liking paranormal anymore, because the writing is just so simple and basic. Then to read Daughter of Smoke and Bone and you're like, oh my god, so good. So I do definitely love her books. And Strange the Dreamer, even though it was not my favorite thing ever, I still really appreciated the world that she creates, and I like that she takes the time to really flesh out a story, and even if it takes years for her to publish a book, I don't care because I'm excited to read them. And the last author I want to talk about today is Casey West. She is definitely one of my favorite contemporary authors, and I'm always going to love reading her books, and like I've been very slack lately by not buying any of her new ones and not being caught up, because I've read like 7 of her books now, and her love has been reinstated to me because I recently read The Pivot Point Duology, which was so good. Highly recommend it if you haven't picked it up, or you were kind of looking for something that was just like a really easy and simple read, but it's still got like some kind of like supernatural element. It's your pick. But she just writes such investing characters, and her books are always so easy to read and so quick to read, and I just get so invested. Like The Distance Between Us is still one of my favorite contemporaries because it was one of the first ones that really captivated me when I was first trying to read contemporaries, because I used to never be able to read them. I needed to read fantasy books because it had to have some level of oomph, you know, like it could not just be so boring where it's like, oh my god, like we have to do homework and like go to prom. Like I could not deal, but now I live for it. Like I love contemporaries so much, and I love the romance from contemporaries. She is just one of those ones that I'm gonna really appreciate all the time, and she just bams out so many books, so there's always books for me to read, and it's awesome. So guys, that is my list for today, and it's just nice to be able to put some light on authors that you like. And even though I'm sure all of you have heard of them and have read from them, these are my favorites because they do such a good job writing their books, and they are popular for a reason because they do it so well. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!